All right, everyone, welcome to the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream. I'm your host, David Lee. So, what is going on this week? Let's find out how everybody's doing. Let's see who shows up, and let's see what's going on with the way wrestling has been today. What up, Terrell? One thumbs up already, one like. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome. Here it comes. Everyone's in. Andy is back. What up, Andy? Hey, what is up, John? What is up, Tap? Clarence, good to see you in the chat today. Good to see you, Clarence. Interesting, because I definitely liked what we're talking about in the comment section. Hey, what's up, Warhawk Rambo? What up, Raw Reflex, and all my Dave Knows Wrestling know-it-alls? What up, Emperor? I don't know what it's like out here, but I don't know what it's like where you are, but it is definitely a good live stream day. Rainy day outside. Rainy. Hey, Arthur, what is going on? Everything's good. What's up and what's good with you, Flacco? Dave is the Nas of YouTube and Brian Saint is the Tupac. I'll take it. I'm a big Nas fan. Want to talk to you about the AAW and the Glory Pro show I was at. Oh, well, let us know about it, John. Feel free to tell us. Name your top 3 Ric Flair matches. Oh, okay. Matches or like opponents? Because if like Ricky Steamboat, I can't really decipher between Ricky Steamboat's which ones. The hour match was pretty good. And Sting is a classic for sure. And it's really just a fanboy in me. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and I know it really doesn't belong on the list. But I did like seeing him in the Hogan fight. I know it's not even technically good, and I know Macho versus Flair is way better. It's just I don't know. I just really like the Hogan thing, and it's not even good. Hey, Amy, what is going on? My first Mets spring training game. Oh, all right, checking out the Mets. New Jack and Raven is a dream feud in ECW. Do you ever think WWE will sign Kenny Omega? I never say never, but I don't think so. And if anything, it'll be way down the line. Live streams. They haven't gone anywhere. But, it's Alex. Hey, what's up? When rappers get in wrestling business, best and worst. I say worst. Unless it's Def Jam Vendetta, then it's okay. Backstage, thoughts on Jeff Jarrett in the Hall of Fame? Okay, that's a good one to start off with. We'll talk about this. Sting versus Flair Final Nitro was good, if anything, for the emotional aspect of it. Yes, Warhawk, I will agree with you for the... Oh, did you like Mr. Perfect Ric Flair match? Yes, that is a really good one. Yes, that's an excellent one, Andy. For the emotion component, yeah, although I think it looked a little ridiculous, Flair wrestling in that T-shirt, and it was like, it was like a paint-by-numbers match. Yeah, I agree with you that for the emotional aspect, yes, but there you go. Thoughts on Gargano leaving? Well, it's just a storyline. I'm going to see where it goes. Maybe he goes up to the main roster. Maybe which I don't think will do well for him, but, he's obviously going to come back. Who has the best album, NWA or WWF? That would be which NWA? The wrestling company or a rap group? But I met Naito there. So that's that. All right, cool. How did you like the Bragging Rights pay-per-view? I actually liked that. Which one? Hey, Dave. First time. Well, welcome, Joshua A. Long time. What are your thoughts regarding the recent unfortunate incident regarding Kairi Sane at the NXT tapings? I don't know about this. So, guys, let me know. What happened to Kairi Sane? Raw or Nitro? I'm a Raw guy. So Tyson Kidd wrestled again. Did he? What is going on? And how do I not know about this stuff? I've been checking, the news. I didn't know anything about this. Well, Amy goes with Nitro. Of course she would. Okay. Master P and Horrible. Yeah. What it up, face man? And talk to some New Japan higher-ups. Yeah, what happened? What do you think of the Oscar promo last Monday? It was rough going. It was rough. Definitely should have been shorter or had a manager or somebody. Love the Evolution matches when every match there would be a spot held like I'm too old for... I did not know about that. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to be a fan for that. That's not good. Jeez. Yeah, that's bad. SmackDown or where was that show anyway? Where was that taping? SmackDown or Thunder? SmackDown, WCW or NJPW? Ugh. That's a tough call because here's the thing: when WCW was like at its best, and I mean at what I think is its best, not necessarily what other people. Um, I think WCW is better than New Japan as a whole, but overall, the entirety of WCW, if you look at some time periods, New Japan has never gotten that bad. Is the point? There was a group of fans chanting, "Oh, geez, okay, that's not okay." Well, yeah, what did she say? She posted an. Okay, well, that's very, that's nice for her. Who would you release in 2018? Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin. It was in Florida. Man, you'd think Florida would know better. Not that it matters. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of curious. I'm kind of curious where I need to stay away from. What sections I need to not be at. Hey, what up, Andre? Hey, Andre. Yeah, what's up, man? You should being where you put dream rivalries, and the first pick will be New Jack and Raven. Dave, cultaholic or what culture? Oh, what culture? I never got into cultaholics. I wish them the best. I would fire Roman. Well, that's not a bad idea either. Why not Jinder? That's another good one. Don't get me wrong. The fire hammer would be pretty strong with me. I would definitely fire Jinder Mahal. Roman, I get it. I don't like Roman Reigns. I get it. Hey, what's up, Tyler Kraut? I totally get it, but I still like the Shield. So Roman might keep his job just in case I have any Shield plans. But, they're kind of cursed, so who knows. Pac-Man Jones and Impact, though, on that. Thoughts on that, I assume you mean. See, here's the thing. I don't follow, when it comes to outside sports, I don't really follow them, so I don't take a lot of opinions. Like the Ronda Rousey thing, I know who she is. But when people say, hey, what are your... Oh, Chris Benoit all the way. People ask me, what are your thoughts on her? I don't know. I know she was, a big deal. But, hey, what up, John? What's the dumbest pay-per-view? I think it's... The dumbest name ever is Great Balls of Fire. In terms of just dumbest, I don't know. That's a tough one. But people, I don't really know too much about them outside. So all I have to judge them all is wrestling. Like Kevin Green. I know nothing about him as a football player. I just knew him as a wrestler. And, I didn't... He was... So when it comes to that, when you ask me about Pac-Man Jones, I don't really have any thoughts on what I see. And usually what I see when it comes to outside athletes coming in, usually it's nothing spectacular. But I don't expect them to be either because, December to Dismember, correct answer. Yes, Alex, I agree. I think Bill Watts was running it underrated way to top rope is legal. That was the best run outside of the Monday Night Wars. Okay. All right, awesome. Not bad. Vince Russo is at it again. Oh, geez, what'd he do now? Was Flair versus Rhodes? Oh, yeah, and yeah, Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair is definitely one of my favorite rivalries, for sure. Or one of the best rivalries of all time. Did you check out Zone? Yes, I did. I didn't get to finish reading, but yes, I did. C122, who is winning the Elimination Chamber? Ooh, yes, that is what we were going to do today. Because pay-per-view prediction time, but I'm going to get to that. The other thing is, I totally forgot I was going to talk about something that someone asked me earlier, and I don't remember what it is. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, sorry, I got bombarded with this. Let's see what's going on. Okay, now it's a lot better. Oh, and thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for everything. Triple H at the helm. If Roman wins, we ride. Okay, so hold on. Let me try and backtrack. Let's see what I might have missed. Heat on it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. The Jeff Jarrett Hall of Fame thing. Okay, so as I talked to Jeff Jarrett, that was it. Thank you, Tap. Okay, so here's the thing about the. I disagree with you, Arthur. I mean, I understand that he is not he's not Kurt Angle as a wrestler, but you have to understand what Dusty changed about the game. Like taking him for what his specific contributions is very different, and that's what the thing. I mean, I understand that he's not the most technical wrestler on the planet, but that's not what it's about. And following British pro wrestling and liking British pro wrestling, as I've done 2 episodes about, he's very analogous to Big Daddy out there in England. But anyway, so yeah, the Jeff Jarrett thing. Okay, so Jeff Jarrett thing, huge surprise. He's one of those guys that the rumor says he was never going to come back, or he was a bad situation with WWE, holding Vince up for money for the Intercontinental title, starting TNA, so on and so forth. So yeah, that was a huge shock. And allegedly, Jeff Jarrett's Hall of Fame induction was apparently the work of Triple H, who really wanted him in there. And Triple H was also the guy who got Bruno in, allegedly. And so that was very surprising. And here's the thing. Jeff Jarrett, I never thought he was a main eventer. It's just not where he belongs. And I was very surprised that Jeff Jarrett made it in himself. He's not the headliner, which I understand. He has, with TNA and to a minor degree Global Force, he is somebody who has contributed to the world of wrestling. I can't take that away from him. His promos with the whole slap nuts thing and being the chosen one, I really liked that a lot. I thought that was great, Mike work. But unfortunately, there was a lot of things and I know it's not all of his fault, but being a Russo boy and all that with the tier cage thing, I thought was ridiculous. I didn't like that. There's a lot of things that Jeff Jarrett did that I didn't agree with. And don't get me wrong, I understand some of his stances on this. But at this point in time, but in terms of him actually getting in the Hall of Fame, well, everybody gets in the Hall of Fame now. So the only things that keep you from getting in the Hall of Fame is having bad blood or beef with it, and apparently that's over with. And also his dismissal from Impact Wrestling or Global Force, whatever you want to call them, was unfortunate because I don't know his situation. I don't know specifically what happened to Jeff Jarrett that meant he had to leave the company, but what I do know is that someone who has contributed as much to the world of wrestling as he did, whether you like him or not, and whether you thought his contributions were significant or not, isn't the point. He has definitely given to the world of wrestling. Maybe it's minor in your opinion, maybe it's not that big of a deal, maybe you don't like the things he's contributed like TNA, but that's fine, but understand and recognize that he has given things, and as a result of that, whatever unfortunate situation happened where, because Dixie Carter took over the company and, you can make your argument one way or the other for that, but then this current thing and whether that's his fault or not, whatever. But the point is, he has contributed, he's going to be recognized, and allegedly from what I understand, WWE is getting him help for issues that he might have, which is a good thing. And if that's the case, let's go forward with it. And okay, he got in the Hall of Fame. And plus, there are many, many people like Drew Carey who don't belong in that Hall of Fame who are in it. So as far as I'm concerned, why not Jeff Jarrett? So, and like I said, I'm not the biggest Jeff Jarrett guy. I'm not like a big Jeff Jarrett fan. So it's not like, it's not like I have this vested interest where I want to see him in. I'm just saying there are definitely worse people who have gotten into the Hall of Fame. Undertaker is a legit fighter, so he is better known as a brawler than Arn Anderson. Whoa, if it's Arn Anderson versus Undertaker in their prime, I don't know. Because Arn Anderson can survive scissors. Dave, what did you think of Zone 1? Wow, okay, we're talking about that. I mean, good for what it is, of course. DDP should help Jeff Jarrett. Ah, yes, that might be part of it. Which burial was worse, the Ascension or the Zack Ryder burial? The Ascension, because Zack Ryder at least won something. Surprise twist, Hulk Hogan and Doug, that would be a huge surprise. Arn used to fight in bars over St. Louis along with Haku. That is a scary team. Just click the like button. Thank you. You should do. Thank you. Thank you, Andre. And thank you for all thumbs up. 13. That is a great start. Thank you. Thank you. Is the park underrated? Yes. Yes, he is. The chairman of the board? Yes, he is. If WWE decided to put Dave in the Hall of Fame, do you think he'll pass it up? I would not pass up anything. And at this point in time, like I said, why not? Why not with the WWE Hall of Fame? And they probably won't do it anytime soon, but I would not be surprised if in 10, 20 years from now, the What Culture guys start getting nominated, Brian Zane gets into the Hall of Fame for the WWE. Why not? I would not be surprised. Hey, what up, Double A? My man. What do you think? What do you mean about this? Sid stabbed Arn Anderson with scissors, and then Arn still beat him up. Duh. I've mentioned this so many times, but yeah, why not one more time? And every time I try to get it shorter and shorter because I could go on for hours about why I hate Shawn Michaels. But all right, his backstage politicking really did bad for the company. As soon as he won the belt, WCW took over, and let's look at it this way. WWF, since its rise to the top, has never been dethroned from the top spot before or since. It's the only time it comes into history, and all because Shawn Michaels demanded that he was a main event guy, him and his clique buddies, despite the fact that the numbers showed it wasn't. They cared more about themselves than they did the company, and it hurt the company and almost bankrupted them. Not only that, the guy has a very, very limited moveset. He's not that good, and everyone ignores that his best matches only happen when he has great opponents, like Kurt Angle, like Bret Hart, like The Undertaker. Everyone's ignoring the fact that if you give him someone who's garbage, he's not that good. It's the argument I have for when people talk about Derek Jeter, okay? Derek Jeter always had a prime spot in a batting lineup where they were going to pitch to him because the guy coming out after him was definitely someone that you wanted to walk because you didn't want to take the chance with the power hitter. So, of course, Derek Jeter's hit stats are great. Well, it's the same thing. Shawn Michaels always had prime material to work with. And, of course, in his high-profile matches. And because of that, everyone liked him. Now, a lot of people don't like John Cena. Who talks about Shawn Michaels versus John Cena as a clinic? Nobody. Okay? Now, I think people are too harsh on John Cena. I think people really need to line up on John Cena. But even that, John Cena, even though I like John Cena, I'm not going to put him on the same pedestal as Kurt Angle. That's just crazy talk. These are close. But you have John Cena versus Shawn Michaels main event at WrestleMania. Nobody talks about that match. Nobody cares about that match. And there's a reason why. Oh, hey, anybody named Benoit want to wrestle? I'm down. Dude in your caps. Whoa. The dude in your caps will induct you in the Hall of Fame. What's my caps? Shawn Michaels' worst match. Jeez. I think he had a match against Goldberg and just had a general principle. I might nominate that. I think Double J has earned his spot because of TNA, in my opinion. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Edgehead. Like, he's contributed. Regardless of how you feel about him, he's contributed so much. He really has. And that alone means he should be inducted. Now, yeah, I know he's in the TNA Hall of Fame, but I'm just saying, on top of that, come on. Like, Vader. Oh, and that's another thing. He squashed Vader. So Clarence, like you guys know, it's really easy to get me going on the Shawn Michaels thing. It's really easy to rev that cord. If HBK moved from WWF or WCW, would they be open? No, absolutely not. Here's the thing. Shawn Michaels can't draw money. We keep ignoring this. Shawn Michaels is not a money draw. Thoughts on 7-man elimination chamber? I think it's weird. I kind of want the odd numbers so they don't add another cell, but have three. Like a three-way in the beginning. Hey, Dave, great news. We just partnered up with Future Legend Clothing to handle the merch section of the website. Can't wait to have you on board, man. Me too. Shawn Michaels versus Hogan. Okay, look, I know that's the obvious answer. Shawn Michaels versus Hogan is the obvious answer. But it's so ridiculous, and like the Goldberg-Regal match, if you judge it from a professional wrestling contest just to watch as entertainment value, Goldberg versus Regal is terrible. But when you know about the backstage drama behind it, you can sit there and stare at it and go, oh. And so the Shawn Michaels Hogan thing, while I get it, it's a terrible professional wrestling entertainment match. Because of the history behind it, it's, I think, a little more interesting to watch. Didn't Shawn Michaels... that's not how I understood it, but yeah, he de-pushed him and squashed him because Shawn Michaels is selfish and only cares about himself and not the betterment of the company. But, that's just... Or other people. I don't like him then. I don't even like him then, Double A. I'm not a DXJ because my other least favorite wrestler of all time is Triple H. So that faction has no chance for me. Doug David Hall of Fame. Well, thank you, Terrell. Okay. Where's the cats in those videos with your employee? Oh, my bad. This guy who always wears... I guess Derek? Yeah, but is that Shawn Michaels or is that Styles? Here's the thing. Like I said, look at the totality of when Shawn Michaels is in the main event. Whenever he's in the main event, my numbers aren't so good. Wins the belt at WrestleMania 12. Ratings start dropping. And then WrestleMania 14, he drops it to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ratings go up. That's coincidence? I don't know. You could say, well, that's because WCW had Hogan at the time. Well, they had Hogan when Bret was around. Didn't happen then. Only happened after Shawn Michaels became a number one, had the belt. And I know he lost it a couple times in between. He didn't have it straight through. But then WrestleMania 14 loses the belt. Hogan's still there. And then all of a sudden, boom, WWF takes over again. Interesting coincidence? Okay. Then he disappears for a couple years. WWF doing great. 2002 rolls around. Oh, wait, crap. Shawn Michaels comes back. Oh, look at ratings. They start going down again. Yeah, I know there are people who will make their defenses for it, but I'm just looking at the pattern, simple pattern recognition. I don't think it's a coincidence, is all I'm going to point out. How many people were attacked by Ric Flair? Dirtiest player in the game? A lot, Andy. Who will induct you into the Hall of Fame? Huh. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I don't think people hate Cena and Roman if it wasn't for the number one guy threat. Oh, and that's the other thing. Shawn Michaels definitely wasn't the draw people perceive him to be. Of course not. Thank you, Andre. Great, and charismatic. Fine, but not one of the major draws. I also hate his gimmick. The gimmick is terrible. Like him, just prancing around. Plus, he couldn't whip cream in a fight. All right, he was notorious for being a chump backstage. Bret would have murdered him if they ever got in a real life fight. So, and if the Marine story is true, he lost to a regular guy. Like, Jim Cornette tells a story that if Jim Cornette was running a wrestling promotion and this guy loses a fight in real life to a real life guy, that guy better never come back. Because if you're selling a wrestling business as legitimate and you're trying to sell it where this is real, how could you ever push a wrestler that has lost to a regular person out in the street in the middle of nowhere? You can't push him. You either have to make him the biggest joke in the world or you have to fire him. Those are your options. The fact that he didn't lose his job is ridiculous. Let's also move on to another time where he should have lost his job. The curtain call. The curtain call. So fine, Nash and Hall saying goodbye at Madison Square Garden to Shawn Michaels and Triple H. They all hug and say goodbye to each other, breaking kayfabe. Nash and Hall are leaving. You can't do anything to them. But Shawn Michaels and Triple H, how do you not have anything? Fine, Shawn Michaels was your main event guy for a lack of a better term for some stupid reason. I still would have fired him anyway. He would never be a main event guy, but I would also fire him. But how do you not fire Triple H? Doesn't make any sense. These guys, you should have fired him right off the bat for doing that. If you hate Michaels so much, do you think his matches with Taker are underrated? No, not at all. I do not think they're underrated. People talk about that all the time. Like, okay, his match with Flair, the retirement match for Flair, I will give it, yet again, emotional context. Great. It's fine. But, let's be realistic here. From a technical standpoint, it really wasn't that good. You got two men who were past their prime age-wise. Yeah. Sup, Amoro Remus? What is your favorite submission of all time? Mine is Lion Tamer. Very good answer. The real Lion Tamer, where it's elevated. Yes. Probably the Sharpshooter. Overrated. Yes, I absolutely think they're overrated. Didn't the story get spun that he jumped by 6 Marines, but the police report actually showed it was 1? That thing is all full lies. We don't know what the reality is, and there's also the argument. First of all, because the one thing I heard, because it's been reported differently, it's pro wrestling, different stories, circle around about the same incident from different people, or sometimes the same people, was that he was hitting on a Marine's girl. So first of all, if you knew the guy was a Marine, and you were hitting another guy and hitting on his girl anyway, you're kind of a scumbag and you deserve that beating. Let's start there. And also, there are some people who say there were no Marines, and he made this story up, that way he wouldn't have to drop the belt to Dean Douglas cleanly, and instead, Dean would lose the belt to Razor Ramon, another Click buddy, because that's the thing, the Click only hooks up each other. They very rarely hook up anybody else. Rumor has it that he also didn't want to drop the belt to Austin at WrestleMania when he was supposed to, and it was The Undertaker who just started menacingly taping up his hands in the locker room, letting Shawn know that if he didn't do business like he's supposed to, Undertaker was going to give him consequences. And that's what my problem is. They just took care of each other for the most part, even when it went against business. Shawn Michaels wasn't going to wrestle anymore, and he still wanted to be selfish about it. Okay, my favorite submission is the Tongan Death Grip by Haku. Not a bad answer either. It's going to Rumble. I disagree. I don't like, personally, I don't like the whole number 1 winning. I know I like Benoit, and I know he did it too, but number 1, number 2, I think it's ridiculous that they win. It should just be like late 20s almost all the time. As a broad art fan, I hate HBK, but my all-time favorite match whatsoever was, okay, yeah, that is definitely not my all-time favorite match. He jumped by 6 people. Maybe Vince didn't fire him because they were actually smart minds. and good at what they do. No, but first of all, if you think they didn't fire after the curtain call, if you think they didn't fire Shawn Michaels, they didn't fire Triple H because he knew NXT was coming all those years later, that is definitely not why he didn't fire him. And as I was pointing out earlier, no Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels isn't good for business. He's a talent. He's a money vacuum. Okay, he does not have the numbers. So it's not like, oh, he's smart for business. He's not firing Shawn Michaels because he makes money. No, he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't draw money. He's constantly doing whatever he wants to do. He doesn't play ball well. He makes an ass out of himself in public. He does terrible things. He's hard to work with. Blah, 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 blah. There is no reason why you don't fire him. Is there a modern? Not really. I mean, some people say yes, and some people are talking about Triple H forming his little backstage booking faction, which allegedly in NXT right now, but not really. Fan, but respect that he actually acknowledges. Yes, but then when you ask guys like, okay, fine, look, if you want to, move on and grow as a person and change, absolutely good for you. However, there are reports by other people that he hasn't changed. This is all a front. This is all an act. Like the Hurricane. Hurricane has given some scathing interviews about the guy. Whether that's true or not, don't know, but wouldn't be surprised because Shawn Michaels has sworn up and down that something was this way, and then later on he confesses that it wasn't. So who could ever tell? Just because Ric Flair retired doesn't mean that he cannot fight. That's true. Better current booker, Vince or Triple H? Well, I really like this Monday's Raw, and that allegedly has come out was a Vince plan, not a Triple H one. I don't know. It's a tough call. I mean, they both have their merits. I mean, here's my thing. Triple H, okay, everyone points to Triple H and NXT. The thing about Triple H and NXT is, well, it is his baby. It is his pet project. A lot of people don't realize that he's not the head booker. One thing I like about the way Triple H conducts business over Vince is Triple H is kind of less hands-on. He does hire well for the most part and allows them to do what they need to do. So that's something I like. Try to catch up. Yes, Sam. You can say wrestling now compared to territory days and the Monday Night Wars. Did Vince kill the wrestling business? No, see, that's a great question. I would not say he killed the wrestling business. I mean, I do toy with this idea all the time, whether or not wrestling is supposed to be a niche market. Is it supposed to be a national or global franchise? Maybe it's not supposed to be. Maybe when you overextend yourself, that's when things get bad. Maybe it's only supposed to be localized. I do hear you on that, but I would not say so, because when we look at wrestling now, the opportunities that are afforded these guys, the amount of money these guys are allowed to make for putting their bodies on their line with no off-season, unlike other sports, they deserve a certain level of compensation. And only through Vince doing things the way he has been, through making it a national, making it a global company, maybe he hasn't done it in the best way possible. Maybe there is a slightly better way that it could be done, or a much better way that it can be done. Who knows? But the reality is, Vince has done what he has done, gotten a lot of guys to be paid better. Maybe he's not distributing that money like he should. Maybe guys like Brock Lesnar shouldn't be making so much money, and guys like Dean Ambrose should be making more. But, it's here nor there. Honestly, don't trust Triple H or Stephanie with WWE. I don't either, but I'd rather them have it than they sell to a major company like Fox. That's my personal opinion. Ideal world? Shane! Paul Heyman! I heard Gerald Briscoe was going to shoot them, but Pritchard stopped him from getting his gun in his car. I don't know what you're talking about, but because I'm kind of below, I'm kind of like past the chat. Who's winning on Sunday? Okay, Dean Ambrose is underrated. Yes. Yeah. Still time for Shane to get it. Yeah, I just don't think I'm that lucky. Could Disney buy WWE in the future? It's a possibility, and Stephanie has said that they are not against considering that. I'm not a Disney fan, but I will say if they get that, Sony, I kind of have to give in and just say, okay, you just bought everything I like. The only thing that would be missing is Warner Bros. If Disney bought WWE, Time Warner, and Sony, I'd just call it a day. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get Sony. I'm just going to call it quits and just say, all right, Disney, I will stop fighting you. I will now give in. Well, Sam, that's a measure of debate because there are many different people who have taken who have claimed the Montreal Screwjob was their idea, so who knows? And Shawn Michaels himself has stated he swore that he did not know about the Screwjob beforehand, and then he's also said that he did know about it beforehand. Who knows? Vince, when he says his involvement with the XFL, no, I do not believe him at all. I think he'll try. I do think in his head it's okay. It just, I mean, there is the possibility that the XFL is something he's starting, but he's really not going to be involved in it, and he's going to get other people to do it. And if that's the case, okay, fine. He'll just stay doing his WWE thing. I don't know. I can tell you really like the Hart family. I do. I worked for them and their promotion for just under 2 years. Awesome. And they welcome me as one of their own family. Man, I'm jealous of you on that one. Tons of respect for them. Absolutely. And yes, I am a huge Hart family fan. Thoughts on fans' racism directed at Kyrie? Like, obviously I'm going to say it's bad. What do you think I'm going to say? It's good. I mean, if you want more, I mean, you guys are bringing it up. I just don't, when it comes to stuff like this, I'm not surprised. Like, I have my own, personal thoughts on it, and it's, I don't think now is the time or place to get into it, but it's just, I'm surprised. It's not good, but, realistic expectations for Rousey. She's going to be another celebrity thing. It's just going to be what it is. I don't think she's a Shayna Baszler, but I haven't seen her wrestle yet, so I don't know. She has a following. Let's see what they do with it. Are they over extending themselves with it? Yeah, but, a superstar is not getting over a wrestler's fault or a promotion's fault. It depends. It depends on who they are. If it's Billy Gunn, Billy Gunn's fault. If it's Dolph Ziggler, WWE's fault. Dave, in your spare time, go check out all my Hart interviews. All right. Like the recommendation. Then see, that's the thing. Jim Cornette is one of those guys. Jim Cornette, from the interview I saw, maybe he gave a different one. He said that he was talking about doing a double cross, as in like a kayfabe double cross, but then he believes that Pat Patterson, if I remember correctly, or somebody else, misinterpreted that as in a real life double cross. And so in the interview I saw, he said he didn't mean it that way, but he believes that's how the Screwjob came about. Not Pat Patterson. It couldn't have been Patterson, but somebody else. Yeah, I don't remember who, but yeah, overheard it. According to Vince Russo, it was his idea. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's been a million people to claim that the Screwjob was his fault. It was their doing. And so, who could take it seriously? I don't know. It wasn't there. Happy Rusev Day unto you, Danny in Oak Park. Hey, what's up, Oliver Train? I'm sorry for not getting to you sooner. I'm shocked about the Jeff Jarrett thing. Does Bischoff not get enough credit for being... I don't think he does either. Terry, great point. Because that's another thing about the Screwjob. I don't think Bischoff gets nearly enough credit. Because when people talk about the Screwjob apologists, who are all wrong, by the way, every Screwjob apologist, you're wrong. Sorry, you're wrong. I have a video with 16 minutes about it because I got one of the first 3 launch videos was about the Screwjob. And it had nothing to do whether the Screwjob was right or wrong or not, but it had tons of people commenting and complaining that the Screwjob was a good idea. So in the 20th anniversary, this past November, I made a video explaining, a very long one, why the Screwjob was empirically wrong. And then everyone said, well, duh. But anyway, yeah, the thing is, people think the Screwjob created the Mr. McMahon character. It did not. I will repeat, once again, I said it in that video, I'll say it now, the Screwjob did not create the Mr. McMahon character. Period. Eric Bischoff is the heel authority figure. He started it first. Second, Vince McMahon always wanted to be a wrestler before his father talked him out of it. His original concept character was the $1 Million Man, and he gave that gimmick to Ted DiBiase, but the Mr. McMahon character was a modern-day updated variation of that original character he wanted to play. And number 3, the timeline doesn't work up, because Vince McMahon's feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't happen until after Stone Cold won the belt at WrestleMania, which was months after the Montreal Screwjob. So he didn't use that momentum. Oh, and one more bonus reason for you people who doubt me out there, who think that and I'm pretty sure none of you are these people, so I'm not yelling at you, by the way. So any of you people who think that, and also not only that, here's the thing, WWF's ratings were really low at the time of the Screwjob. WWF started succeeding very well after Austin got the title, and because of that, that means new fans, people who weren't watching. It doesn't make any sense for you to say, well, oh, it was his, oh, they took the momentum of that heinous act from the screw job and used that to lobby into the McMahon character. People weren't watching at the time. They can't be mad. It was new fans or people or returning fans that were making WWF money. People who weren't watching at the screw job. You can't take the momentum because none of those fans that made you money cared at all because they weren't watching during the screw job. So that doesn't make any sense either. And yes, so no, Bischoff doesn't get enough credit, and Austin, for Screwjob apologist, doesn't get enough credit either. Sorry, Zach. You're right. I'm calm. I'm good now. I got it out of the system. What's up, Nathan Norman? Back to normal. Plus, didn't he kind of rip it off from Bischoff? Yep, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely, Edgehead. Absolutely. I slipped into promo mode there. Many fans don't know the trouble of anything in the past. Yeah, that's true. If you can be serious for a minute, how underrated is... Oh, Lance Storm is extremely underrated. Lance Storm is one of my... I think pure technical wrestling-wise, he's one of the best of all time. Dave talking so fast, I thought he was Eminem. What do you think about the worst injury... when wrestlers get injured... I know the Tyson Kidd injury is way worse, but the Sid one with the leg, that I can it's like burned into my brain, and I want it to not be. It's just, that is so horrendous. Yeah, Lance Armstrong is great. I'm a sucker for most Canadian wrestlers though, so I'm kind of biased. Vince isn't even really responsible for Stone Cold. That credit goes to Heyman. Some people have also cited the Stone Cold character was plenty, was numerous fold. Yes, Heyman is one from Austin's time in WCW, and I give the credit to the man himself. But I know many hands went into this because also Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter for some of you, is allegedly had a lot of doings backstage with it. Some people credit Jim Ross for his ability to really sell through his commentary to get Austin over. Vince Russo, a lot of people also want to mention Russo. Cornette is recognizing his talent for a period of time. There's a multitude of things that went into it. I just give the credit to Stone Cold Steve Austin, the man himself. When it comes to a lot of things I see on wrestling, I tend to give it to the guy, like The Rock. Yeah, The Rock was taught by a lot of people. Yeah, you could give the credit to The Rock's dad and Vince and all that. But The Rock had the charisma, and that's him. So I don't think that, as great as the writing can be, same thing like The Undertaker. Yeah, sure, The Undertaker was a great Vince McMahon idea. I don't deny that, but it wouldn't have worked on just anybody. I mean, so... okay, so yeah, sorry, I'm going off on my tangents, and but yeah, so a couple of things I want to do. I still want to do a real fake or fake real for today, and I also, thank you, 22 thumbs up, thank you so much, thank you. So they're I also want to do, I want to do, let's see. I want to do real fake real for this week, and I do want to do my pay-per-view predictions. What do you guys want to do first? Or is going off script? No? I'll see it myself out. Okay, yeah, what do you guys want to do first? You want to do real fake real, or you want to do pay-per-view predictions? Real fake? Okay, we got one for that. It's shorter. Okay, Sam. With WJ getting inducted, do you believe that... that one day CM Punk will? Yeah, at this point, yeah, why not? Live your dreams and all, and always try to give back to pro wrestling. Concurred. Real fake? Okay. All right, cool. We'll do that first. Now, we've been talking about it a lot. Okay, so what I have planned for this week is a little, not exactly this week, but we've been talking about it a little, but I want to drive it a little home. So, with Jeff Jarrett getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, big surprise here. So, now, as I said earlier, for those of you who don't really care, it's calling contact for me to enjoy. Thank you so much, Carter. And thank you for all the thumbs up and the likes. Thank you. Still in pain, British Bulldog. I want that too. Okay, so we'll do the real fake real. So for those of you who don't know, real fake real, I know I say this every week, should do a promo segment. I love cutting promo modes. So for real, fake, fake, real, if for those of you who are new here and don't know, real, fake, fake, real works like this. I will ask you about a particular segment in wrestling, and you guys tell me, is it real fake as in real phony, or is it fake real as in it's fake but you believe it? So real fake is phony. Fake real, you believe it. And I'll ask you, and when I ask you to vote, you guys cast your votes, and whichever gets to 5 first wins. So this week is going to be a little different. Instead of doing what we normally do, with something a little current, we're going to kind of rotate on something current. So with Jeff Jarrett being inducted into the Hall of Fame, this brings up an interesting point that we were talking about. Jeff Jarrett allegedly held Vince McMahon up for money to lose the Intercontinental title on Raw before going over WCW. Vince McMahon made it very clear when he acquired WCW that Jeff Jarrett was fired. So all this beef that Jeff Jarrett allegedly had with the WWF and never going to get him into the Hall of Fame, never going to be in good graces with the company, he was listed as one of the guys that most people said would never return. But here he is being inducted to the Hall of Fame. So this begs the question, is this beef legitimate, and is it something that WWF and everybody just got over, or was it all just a big work in the first place and it's never been real? So that is the question. Is the Jeff Jarrett beef that we've had for the past several years, the many, many years that have gone by, is it, whoa, I didn't ask for the vote yet. Whoa, stop. The vote's not official yet. Not official yet. Is it real or is it real or is it fake? Whoa. Is it real or is it fake? So I'm going to cast your votes. First to 5 wins. I didn't read the ones beforehand, so I'm not getting it. We're starting new. When I say go, that is when we will start casting the votes. So is the Jeff Jarrett beef with the WWE, was it real or was it fake? Cast your votes now. Fake real. Fake real. My bad. I think it's real. Fake real. Fake real work. Fake real. All right, this one's pretty close. This one's pretty close. Okay, let's see. Real work. Has never been proven to be most forgiven by work. Opportunity to make real. All right. Wow. Pretty good, but it seems that pretty good, but the works have it. So it was pretty close, but yeah, man, intense. But it seems that the first to 5 rule. It seems that the fake one, you guys, the majority, the first to 5 wins. You guys believe the Jeff Jarrett beef was fake. Nails for a Hall of Fame. Nails was good, wasn't he? It's money for a Hall of Fame. Why not? I think it could be real, but they settled it. Okay, Train. Good insight. Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm not sure either. You guys were really close on this one. But you guys were definitely saying it was a work. So that's what the voting is for this week. All right, cool. But glad to hear your thoughts on this. All right, so now let's move in. Oh, and real quick, Clarence, you still here, Clarence? You still in the room? Hope you are. Shamrock to beat the title. But now that you're here, Clarence, you're still here? Clarence, Jeff Jarrett, and Bloody M, so on. Yep, okay, Clarence is still here. Okay, so interesting thing we were talking, I do want to address this real quick. Something interesting that and thank you for the thumbs up. Something interesting that Clarence and me were talking about was, but Clarence and I were talking about this. Me and Clarence were talking about this, and he was saying that in honor of Black History Month, he wanted me to talk about R-Truth and his promo that he cut, and his promo that he cut on Ricky Steamboat. Now, here's the thing: in honor of Black History Month, I understand, but I didn't want to cut a honest promo because it's scathing. So like if you're gonna, it's not everyone gets that it's a joke either. So if it's so, it's kind of like I was gonna say if I did so, but I like the idea of celebrating Black History Month. It's just that wasn't necessarily the way I wanted to do it. And plus, also here's the thing, Clarence, I want to address with you on this is the fact that, interestingly enough, my Honest Promo schedule is actually already, my video schedule already is pretty set, but my Honest Promo schedule is particularly set because since I like giving you guys the inside track for being here on the live stream, a little bit of new information is, as I'm currently right now, my comic book channel is not doing as well as this channel, and I want it to do even better, so I'm still shaking things up. So I was doing like daily news updates on the comic book channel for like comic book news, but several things is one, it hasn't been tracking as well. Like people aren't watching it as much as they, don't seem to be interested in it. And also, comic books news not. Some days I have to stretch because something doesn't happen every day, which I thought it did, but apparently it doesn't. So I've had a few slow news days over the past couple months that I've been doing it. So I'm going to reshift the focus of the comic book channel, and my idea was it's going to be a little more like this channel. And so, in order to save, and I've been making them, kind of together to make things a little easier. Comic book, the next debut is going to happen. I have it so far. I'm planning on having it come out on Tuesday. Honest promos for comic book characters on the comic book channel. So I have that, and it's also the next wrestling one is also already planned. So because of that, so it was like I thought it was kind of coincidental that you were asking me about honest promos when all of a sudden, when at the same exact time I was already upping the honest promo ante, and so I kind of had my schedule already locked. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, so honest promos going to be on the comic book channel. So who is it? Well, wait and see. There will be now. Dave Knows Comics. That should work. Well, now you do. I also will admit I'm not the best on advertising it. It's like the link is perma on my Twitter, and I have a couple episodes where I put it out there. Hey, Maurice, what is up, know-it-alls? What is up, know-it-all? Maurice. Thank you. So creative the name is. Pretty funny. That's pretty funny, Train. How different do you think things would be if Hulk Hogan was never left the AWA? Very different. Hulk Hogan, like him or hate him, hey, he helped revolutionize the industry. And that's another one. You could say he's a Vince McMahon creation, but I put it on him. His charisma, the fact that he was in Rocky, on him. Where's Dave Knows Video Games? Here's the thing. What I miss? Not much, Timothy Holland. We're about to get into, thank you for the thumbs up, and I don't know who does the thumbs down. I don't know who keeps doing that. If you legitimately don't like this, then don't watch it. And if you are doing it to be funny, well, realize that this channel's growth, that hinders the channel's growth. Hey, Dave, did you do a video on Tiger Mask or no? I have not yet. I have talked about him, though. Don't worry. And I have a video that I'm working on right now that I talk about him again, very briefly, though. But video games, the video games things, I'll be honest. While I talk about video games in this channel and mention them on the comic book channel, oh, yeah, I would love to be a booker. Sign me up. Give me the opportunity. I wish Nathan Norman. I have met one. I just shook her hand and talked to her for 2 seconds. We were filming it was a sketch or something like that, a video sketch. She was just playing a reporter, and we just met in passing. It was a different role, and that was it. Sayama. Okay. Yeah, Satoru Sayama. Have to go with the OG. What was I talking about? About video games. Oh, yeah, video games. But the reality is I'm really not the biggest video game guy. I don't play that many, a year, and it's, I don't really, and there are tons of video, and the other thing is, no, I did not, no, it was a comedy sketch. I liked him winning the NW. It was a comedy sketch, and I didn't know that about her until afterwards. There was nothing like that. It was just, she was there. Her segment was done filming after, before mine, and then we just met in passing, I shook her hand, and that was it. Do you like Marvel Ultimate Alliance? I love that game. Um, I bought it like 5 times, like for between different platforms, between my friend, like for friends. Like I bought that game so many times. PlayStation, and Xbox, PlayStation 2, and then Xbox 360, so many times. Is that why they call you Train? No, no. Where's Dave Knows Vlogs? Because I don't know vlogs. This is my vlog. Why no more chicken? I don't know. I don't know why, Tap. Big Valvoski line. Any videos about Dave Knows Wrestling movies? Well, yeah, that's what cheaper pop culture is. I mean, it doesn't always exclusively deal with that, but yeah, cheaper pop culture is very similar to like movies and like wrestling and pop culture. It's a big thing on that. How many wrestling games I've enjoyed? Yeah, so that's the thing. And also, I don't like have a wide spread of like gaming thing. I don't have an online. I can't play games with people online because I don't have that. I play single player games and usually just like by myself. Like I'm just playing like Mario Odyssey. I haven't finished it, but like Mario Odyssey, I kind of like that. And I like games that are like really like a lot of gamers like thumb their nose down on. Like it's not like I don't play World of Warcraft or anything on the PC. Like I haven't played anything on the PC since like The Sims, and that was a very long time ago. Like The Sims and like American McGee's Alice are the only two like PC games I ever really played, or the most recent PC games I ever played. I can't believe you don't know what a train is. No, I know what it is. I was kidding, Train. How many Tiger Masks were there? I think I lost count. I don't know off the top of my head. I think we're around 5. These honest promos, Val Venus. Not a bad idea. Dave, you should try live stream interview with some wrestlers, old WWF guys. I would love to if I could. I mean, I got to talk to them, but yeah. You can sign up for Twitch. I could. I mean, I don't, but like I said, I'm not a big video game guy. And I know a lot of people are looking into Twitch, and it's beginning to, but yeah, it is something to concern, but I'm still like having a hard time figuring out YouTube right now. Have you ever heard about or played any of the mods for? I mean, I've heard about them. I haven't played them, but No Mercy, yeah. But yeah, I played No Mercy a lot. I think WCW ended up going the same way TNA eventually did. Yeah. Yeah, but I have asked that question, and it's so difficult. But it's Hogan, Austin, Rock, and Macho would be what I would say. Could you do Dave Knows ECW Heatwave 1999? There's a good chance that might happen. Maybe not that specific pay-per-view, but ECW in general. What subject do you teach? Broadcasting. DC versus Marvel. Yeah. Is your comic book channel just another DC hater channel? No, it is not. It has been mostly news updates. I intend to film another news update today. I've been stopping. This week I didn't do the daily update, and I've announced that I'm not doing the daily update because I'm just trying to refocus the shift. And so the next shift is going to be, making it the channel not about daily news updates, but more like this channel. Dave, are you going to WrestleMania? If not, live stream it with us. Don't know yet. Nice choices, but no. Channel. What's the each? Okay, where am I at? He broadcast. No, can you even do that? I have a hard time understanding Twitch. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not the biggest video game guy. Like I've said it before in live streams. I really like Life is Strange, which is not, that's the other thing. I'm not really good at video games either. So if I can, yeah. It's so yeah. Hogan Austin Rock, what do you think? That's pretty good. Yeah, like Macho's the one I'm like not sure on. It's about you commenting on your video. New YouTube channel, Dave Knows Wrestling. It's about commentating on your videos. I have a video where Dave knows Wrestling. I do have one. It's a behind the scenes video which nobody watched, so I've even contemplated pulling it off. Your thoughts on Cap Hydra as an Agent Shield? I hated it. My initial reaction when they did it was, this was just another thing that Marvel's doing. Like, Marvel in the comic books have been so sloppy and stupid lately, and especially with this new fresh start and all this crap. But like, it was dumb, but I was like, it's no dumber than anything else that Marvel was doing. It's just another thing. You know it's going to reset. It's not real. It's like when Peter Parker died and Doc Ock took over his brain, which was horrible, and I canceled my subscription to Spider-Man when they did that. They said, no, Peter Parker's definitely dead, and this is how it is forever. You knew that wasn't true. And it was just, okay, we got to sit around and wait till Marvel undoes this stupid thing they're doing, because it's like the Clone Saga. They keep dragging things out by doing something really dumb and really doubling down on it and keeping it there for way longer than they should. Captain Hydra thing was the same thing. Like, I don't mind these things if they're one-off stories. Like, if the Clone Saga was just like a couple of issues and then done, fine. But they dragged it out forever. If the Superior Spider-Man was just like a 2-issue arc, fine. But they keep these things going forever. Like, if it was an animated episode and there was one episode where Doc Ock took control of Spider-Man, this might be a fun episode, and that might have been it. But you do not drag this on for like a year or two or any of the crap that they did for the Clone Saga or anything like that. So the Cap Hydra thing, I expected them to go... If it was done as a quick one story, fine. But here's the other thing. But then... when they started introducing the Red Skull and the Cosmic Cube, I thought it was going to be better, and I thought it was genius. And then they screwed it up because they didn't just wrap the bow around it, because it was right there, and they could have finished it perfectly. Where the idea was, Red Skull uses the Cosmic Cube, which, in comic books, can't change reality. Grants himself the wish of wishing that Captain America was always a Hydra agent. That would have been genius. That would have been genius, because that, like, if you could give the Red Skull any one wish, what's his wish? To make it that Captain America was always a Hydra agent. That would have been genius. And you just kill the story right there until Bucky or whoever gets the Cosmic Cube and just undoes it and makes everything back to normal. Or you Infinity Gauntlet back to normal. Whatever case. Have you met Stan Lee yet? No, I have not. And also, I thought Superior Spider-Man was cool. I agree, it should have been a different universe Spider-Man, though. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fine as a quick story, but when you want to replace the main book, and for a very long time, that's dumb. That's a good answer. I don't know my best Mania. That's a really good question, but yeah, 20 is very high on the list for me, and it probably is my answer. Thoughts on new Deadpool trailer with the X-Force teaser? Oh, I'm super psyched. I think X-Force doesn't get enough play. It's showing up this weekend. Yeah. People saying Taker might be coming back, getting in shape with a new hip and all. Hydra is not Nazis. Wrong. They said they stick it. Yeah, no, I get you. Should have a 7-issue limited series. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Same thing with Clone Saga. Same thing with the myriad of dumb Spider-Man arcs. But like, and that's how I look at it. If you were to do this in a cartoon, one episode, it's fine. But if you're going to do like a 2-year engagement, you're not going to put that in one episode. And if you do, that means the story is not substantial enough, and if it's not substantial enough to begin with, or that it should have just been one episode. It should have just been a couple of issues, and that's it. Austin's turn ruined 17 for me. Agreed. Like, Austin, 17 was really good, but yes, I thought the turn was stupid. I mean, I know if you separate yourself and just look at it for what it is, fine. What's the oldest Amazing Spider-Man comic I have? Well, digitally, I have them all. Digitally, I have the originals. But the oldest one I have... It's probably something in the early 90s. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's like a 1993 or something like that. Because here's the thing. I had Spider-Man comics before, but I was like a small child. So, like, I had an Incredible Hulk one. I used to get them after daycare if I was good. And, when I was like, really tiny. And I just like the pictures. I couldn't even read them. But, I was an infant. So, like, I destroyed, destroyed them. So I'm trying to think of what qualifies as having and what qualifies as oldest. So I've had comic books from the 80s. I don't know where they are now. They might have just been lost with time. But yeah. But the first thing that like is still preserved and in decent condition, I would say is probably something like 1993. I'm thinking about the Eric Larson run. When the Returns of the Sinister Six is probably one of them. That's the earliest thing I can think of off the top of my head. I might have something that predates it though. The trailer. I have my thoughts on the trailer on the Dave Knows Comics channel, but my thing is, I thought the tone is right. It looks, I mean, people are mad because you don't see Venom, and I am too. I want to see Venom, but I didn't think they were going to show him. I really didn't. I thought I was looking at like Shark from Jaws. They're not going to show it. So I mean, I wasn't overwhelmed because I didn't know what the story is. That was more of a problem I have. That I have no clue what the plot is. But, I thought the tonality of it was fine. I think instead of fixing, bringing Cap and Universe, keep Nazis. I'm beginning to think I might have to start doing live streams on the comic book channel just because this is going so well. And sorry if you're not a comic book fan and alienated. But anyway, Iron Sheik as a villain, as a comics villain. Yes, he is. Okay, so you know what? Let's go into the, before we move on and wrap up, let's go into the predictions for the pay-per-view. Let's kind of move forward. And best Marvel comic movie, Captain America: Winter Soldier. But let me know. Let me know in the comments. Go to the comic book channel. Let me know because I'm asking, what do you guys want to see on the comic book channel? What will help make it as relevant as the wrestling channel, if not more relevant? Let me know. But let's go into the pay-per-view real quick. Okay, so pre-show match, Elimination Chamber this Sunday. Pay-per-view predictions, pre-show match: Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus The Miz, Taraj, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. Do I even need to tell you this is going to be the club getting to run over the Miz, Taraj, so they can hopefully not leave and re-sign the contract is what WWE is thinking, is my point. Treating them with a little more respect. Next up, Cesaro and Sheamus versus Titus Worldwide. Now, here's an interesting one because Titus Worldwide definitely needs a win because this faction has existed, but they don't really accomplish much. Cesaro getting the Cruiserweight title, but then losing it really quickly is the best that they've done. So I could see that Apollo and Titus getting tag team championship would be a bonus, especially since I'm not sure why, but there were rumors that Sheamus is kind of injured. So that would make sense. But I don't know. I've seen Sheamus not, he's been doing okay. So I think the reports about him being injured are ridiculous, but are probably exaggerated. So my thinking is, I think despite all that I'm saying, my pick is Cesaro and Sheamus retain the championships. Roddy Piper versus a member of Cobra. Okay. Like Apollo, Joe remembered him. Okay, so that's my thought. The club. Okay, so that's what you guys are saying. You guys are with me with the club and Sheamus and Cesaro. Nice. All right. Yeah, and definitely, guys. Definitely. Uha Nation. Definitely, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are, too. I definitely want to hear that. So weigh in with your picks, too. Next up, let's move on to Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt. I mean, we've seen this a bunch of times. My pick's going to Matt Hardy. I don't think it matters, like at all, like even a little bit. But yeah, my pick is going to be Matt Hardy. How about you guys? Because, they just think, last year, not bad, Warhawk. Last year, Bray Wyatt wins the title Elimination Chamber. This year, he's probably going to job to Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy for the win. Bullet Club. A lot of the guys with the Balor Club. Bray Wyatt. All right, we got one Bray Wyatt win. No matter who wins, they both lose. That is a very accurate statement, Sam. Bray. I want it to be Bray because I just feel bad for Bray because he's not used right. Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt will be a double count-out. Huh, not bad. Enter Nero. Wyatt wins. Ooh, I like that. Okay, next, let's move on to Asuka and Nia Jax. Yet again, you even have to discuss this one. Can we just move on? Asuka definitely wins. Asuka runs right over Nia Jax. Well, not runs right over. I think it's going to be a competitive match, but Asuka definitely wins. How could she possibly lose? Thoughts on Cody versus Kenny? I think it's pretty cool. I want them to say. I thought they would have saved it to the Bullet Club show, but maybe they have something bigger planned, and that's why they're not. It is a concession stand match. Oh, sad, but yes. I think Jeff is coming back elimination. Good guess. Carmella cash in the Money in the Bank to win the title over Charlotte. Charlotte wins SmackDown Elimination Chambers. Oh. Okay. What was the point of getting Woken Matt Hardy? Now, at this point, I have no idea. Asuka wins. Yep, Asuka wins. Same thing. All right, now let's go on to the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Raw's Women's Championship, which is kind of the way it should be instead of a number one contendership match, but I digress. So we have Alexa Bliss, the champion, versus Bayley, versus Mandy Rose, versus Mickie James, versus Sasha Banks, versus Sonya Deville. Who is going to be the champion at the end of this match? Now, this is a really good question here. Now, so, okay, let's just go by process of elimination. For me, who's the first one out? As much of a fan of... I like Mandy Rose, but I think she's the first one out. She might not be, but I definitely think she comes out early. Mickie James, same thing. I don't think she's a chance, and I think she's one of the first people out. And also Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, those three. So Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Mickie James. I don't think Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville will be back to back, only because I don't think they want to make Absolution look that weak. With back to back. And if they do, that's a misstep. So I think. They might go back to back. Mickie James might be first, and Mandy Rose, and then Sonya Deville. I think Sonya Deville will be, out of those three, will be eliminated towards the end, and Mandy Rose, I think, will be eliminated first. Maybe it's Mickie James, but that's where I'm seeing it. Then Alexa Bliss and Bayley and Sasha. Now, I could see it potentially being Sasha Banks and Bayley as the final two, and the champion as going for the championship. I could totally see that. Bliss. And Banks turning heel on Bayley, very strong possibility. They have been teasing that. That's not what I meant, Nathan. So they could be teasing that. But see, Sasha can also turn on Bayley, and Sasha Banks could also turn on Bayley, but still not win the Chamber. That's the other thing. That's also a possibility too. Or Alexa Bliss could play the two of them against each other. Now, and Sasha has been teasing off and on again for a while too. Also, let's keep this in mind. I agree, Sasha Banks is better as a heel. So that's a possibility. So I could see it coming down to the finals with Sasha Banks officially turning on Bayley, or turning on her earlier to get Bayley eliminated, and it goes down to Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Which I think. I don't know if the heel turn's coming at Elimination Chamber. It would make sense and it would be better, but WWE doesn't make a lot of sense. I would like it, but for some reason I don't think they'll do it at Chamber. But what I do think ultimately is that Alexa Bliss will retain that championship, because I think the championship needs to be retained and she should lose it at WrestleMania. I think that's the time when it happens. So that's what I think. And I don't see, out of anybody in this field, I don't see anybody that's more appeasing, for Asuka to go against. I don't see any grand victory for, someone to put the belt on someone for Asuka to take it off, or to build a better WrestleMania match. Alexa Bliss versus Asuka isn't a great WrestleMania match. I'll be the first to admit that. But at this point, it's the best momentum you got out of the options, because Bayley and Sasha Banks haven't been built properly enough, and there's really nobody else. Like Charlotte Flair and Asuka, great match, but she's on SmackDown. So that's what I think. Not Sasha, then Bliss. Yeah, I would say so. So, in my estimation, what will probably happen, Banks turns on Bayley, eliminates Bayley, but Banks loses to Bliss. However, I don't like that. I don't necessarily like that either, because if Banks turns heel, she shouldn't be. But I kind of just think there won't be a turn. What I think is there won't be a turn. I think Bliss is just going to win. I think Bayley goes out, and then Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss is the finals, and then Alexa pins Sasha. I could see, though, a screwy ending where Bayley beats Sasha, Sasha gets mad, then turns on Bayley, and that allows Alexa Bliss to pick up the win, even though Alexa Bliss should be either struggling at this point, down, but Bayley somehow manages to beat Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks loses her mind, beats up Bayley, and then Alexa Bliss picks up the win while she was almost completely knocked out. Keep the title through a single pay-per-view, let alone run up to Mania. How many more pay-per-views for the big one? This is it. Bayley turns on Banks. That would be surprising. Okay, and finally, the Braun Strowman, the men's Elimination Chamber match for the number one contendership for the number one contendership at WrestleMania for the WWE Universal Championship. We have Braun Strowman versus Elias versus Finn Balor versus John Cena versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus The Miz. First ever 7-way Elimination Chamber match. Now, they're not clear how they're going to do this. Is there going to be an extra cell or chamber, or is there going to be start off with a triple threat and then just same amount? Who knows? At least I don't know as of yet. And by the way, the Monday match was amazing. The Gauntlet match on Monday was absolutely fantastic. I love that show. It was great. Seth Rollins really killed it. It was really, really great. But, okay, so let's get into this. So, the main event. Now, I think it goes without saying. Now, it depends. Now, the Elimination Chamber, unlike Survivor Series or whatever, it depends on the order in which they enter. But I will say, Elias, there's always that one guy that isn't main event yet. That's an Elimination Chamber. It's been Jack Swagger, it's been other people. I will say, Elias, Good to see you playing with the big boys, and you are getting over like there's no tomorrow. But Elias, I think you're the first one out. So I'm going to use Elias as the first one out. Next on that, let's look at it here. Now, this is a tough one because I think the next man out after that is either going to be Finn Balor or it's going to be The Miz. Yep, so which of these two guys is it going to be? I think Finn Balor goes out next because WWE has proven that they don't have a lot of faith in him, which is sad. And I think it's going to be at the hands of The Miz, and I think this is going to set up their feud for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, which I think will be great because Balor, I don't like people going down a level, but I do think Balor was made for that IC belt, and I think he'll do a great job with it. So I would really like to see him take that belt off of The Miz. Miz's first one out. I don't think so. This has been kind of hot lately. I think it's a misstep if you take him out first. I think you hold him off on it. And you know what? With Elias aligning himself with the Miztourage while Miz was gone, I wouldn't mind seeing, a little bit of a static between the Elias and the Miz. But I think Elias is out first because, it's nice that you're here, but you're really just a seat filler, and then just move on. I like Elias. I'm just saying he's not, with the caliber of talent we got right now, he's not hurt by this. He goes to the dance. If he gets eliminated first, it doesn't hurt him. His momentum's still good. So after that, I also want to see The Miz and Balor. And I think Balor goes out. And then after that, I think The Miz gets taken out too. Although I could see Balor pinning The Miz and then infuriating The Miz, and that sets up their feud. I could see it that way, but I think Balor will be out second, and then I think Miz goes out because I think Miz will take out Balor. And that will kind of start something, even though it makes logical sense for Balor to pin The Miz and then justifies his Intercontinental title match at Mania. It's just WWE doesn't do things that make sense. What I think will happen is The Miz will pin Balor over, shenanigans, and then Balor will start getting mad at him from that point on and say, okay, then that will create their feud, which is dumb. It should be Balor pins him, but that's just not how I expect WWE to roll. Next man eliminated. I think John Cena is coming out next. John Cena has been proven that he's laying down. Super Cena days are kind of done. So I think John Cena is going to be eliminated after that. So, and that'll be that. I think, now there are rumors, people saying The Undertaker is going to interfere. I don't think so. I would like it, but I don't think so. I think Cena's just going to get eliminated. I think and here's the other thing. Strowman needs to collect a lot of eliminations. So he might eliminate The Miz, get some retribution for the garbage truck. He might eliminate Cena as well. Might eliminate Elias, but I think Cena gets pinned by Strowman. I think that's something I would predict because it's a good win for Braun Strowman to have to make him look strong. Plus, Seth Rollins already had a pinfall this week over Cena. Did you see he pull a Hogan finger? I did now. Finn versus Seth at the end. Doesn't Finn still have a Universal title match? Oh, Terrell, I would love that, man. If it was down to Seth and Finn, that'd be great. I don't think it will happen, but yeah, I would like it. This is when I do these predictions, I'm doing what I think will happen, not what I want to happen. Sometimes I can't help myself. I tell you what I want to happen. But yeah, this is more what I think will happen. Okay, so I think Cena goes out by Braun Strowman. Next, moving on to that. So that leaves us Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. I think on this point, Seth Rollins goes out. Seth Rollins did great on Monday, really established his G. I don't think we got to worry about Seth Rollins. He definitely started going over. And if he stays on this long, I think he's okay. So I think Seth Rollins goes out because also rumor has it that Seth Rollins' WrestleMania plans might involve Ronda Rousey and Triple H and Stephanie. So, because he's a backup in case Kurt Angle, The Rock, or whatever. Like, The Rock is the first pick, but, Seth Rollins allegedly might be that guy. And so, in which case, who knows? But Seth Rollins doesn't have any real reason to continue this because we don't need to see Seth Rollins and Brock, and I don't think we're going to either. So now it's down to Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Now, in my ideal world, Braun Strowman would be the guy taking that belt off of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He would have done it earlier, whatever. But Braun Strowman is the guy who's supposed to win, and Braun Strowman's beginning to cool down, and that's the problem because he was white hot for a period of time, and I'm not saying he's done, but I am saying it's beginning to slow, and if they aren't careful, they're going to really ruin this opportunity, which they've done before. So I want Braun Strowman to win and go against Brock at WrestleMania at this point in time, but I think Roman Reigns. Now, keep in mind, I thought Roman Reigns was going to win the Royal Rumble because I am conditioned by WWE just to think that they're going to keep doing the things they always do that I don't want, that fans don't care about. I think that was a possibility. But I was proven wrong at WrestleMania, where Shinsuke Nakamura, who I wanted to win, did win. So, maybe. So I want Braun Strowman to win, but I do think they're going to just make Roman Reigns win. I don't want it to, but that's what I think. That's what I think. Well, there you go. I have pay-per-view predictions. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you. And no thank you for that one thumbs down, which I don't know why people keep doing. But thank you. That person keeps doing. But thank you for the thumbs up. Those are my pay-per-view predictions. Thank you for coming out. Thank you so much for being here. I really did appreciate it. And thank you for the thumbs up. And seriously, thank you for being here. Thank you for playing Real Fake Fake Real. What do you think about WWE's worst thing to happen this weekend booking-wise? Oh, who knows? The heck are you going to get Braun out of there without killing his gimmick? I know. Surrounding your comic book channel. Thank you, Tap. Thank you. Thank you for the kindness. Thanks for the video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the live stream. Thank you for keeping me company and talking. It has been a great day. Thank you for talking. Great live stream. Thank you for a thumbs up. And can't wait to talk to you next time. And check out the comic book channel and all the changes are coming by this week. And don't forget to keep it here for Dave Knows Wrestling. And no, seriously, this was a good one. I had a lot of fun today. So thank you so much. And as always, Dave.